Hello and welcome to the Violet Flame Experience podcast. Here we've got Karina and Janet joining us again for the 12 chakra system. Today we'll be talking about the third eye chakra. Hello guys, how are we doing?
Hello
Hi.
there, we're very well, thank you.
How are we doing today,
Yeah,
Karina
very
and Janet?
well.
Yeah, it's a lovely crisp day outside. It's beautiful standing out, although it's been very frosty this morning.
Yeah. Are you feeling better now? Obviously, during the course of these episodes, you guys have been feeling quite bad, having the flu, the cold, and so on. We discussed
Yes.
discussed how you guys were getting yourself healed. And it sounds like you're all feeling better now.
I'm feeling
Yeah,
much better, thank you. I think
yeah, a
half
lot
of it as
better.
well is that my son, he goes to school and he's only 5 and he picks everything up and he brings it all home and then we all get it as well. So it doesn't help.
Dear.
Even your son,
Yes, blame him. Yes, bless his
bless
heart.
him.
I know, but no, we're feeling much better, thank you.
Excellent. Well, we're going to be talking about the third eye today. This one's a little bit makes me feel a little bit weird because the third eye it's an eye that you obviously don't see, but an eye that you see with. So it's a bit of a
Yes,
funny one with that one.
yes,
Yeah,
From what I know, and obviously you guys will be able to expand on what I know. For our audience, obviously the third eye chakra is all about intuition, inner wisdom, and consciousness, isn't it?
wow,
yeah,
yes, I'm impressed.
yeah. It definitely is.
Yeah. So what happens if this is blocked? I mean, what are the kind of symptoms that somebody would suffer? What kind of problems would they be having physically, emotionally, and spiritually if there's a problem here?
Okay,
You
so
would feel,
emotionally, yeah, you would have mood swings, and you would be filled with fear. I think
Mm.
because this is an intuition chakra, um, if you haven't got that, then what replaces that is fear. So if you emotionally, you'll just start to feel yourself fill up with fear with everything that you do and everything you see with for the future, with the past, the present. So emotionally, that to me, that's the biggest thing.
Mm.
it's a bit like losing your way,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a,
Yeah.
if the third eye is not open, then you tend to feel lost. You've everything that you try in life doesn't work, and you go down the wrong paths all the time, and there's no direction. You can't
I
pick up
use
on
Mm.
that
yeah.
direction.
I
So
use the phrase a lot to people a rabbit in a headlight. You know, you become a bit sort of like I don't know which way, and so you just grasping anything when you're not using that intuition and having that chakra in balance.
I mean, some people refer this as a sixth sense kind of thing. Is that right,
Yeah,
or am I
that's
completely
your
off base?
intuition. Yeah, that is
yeah,
exactly what it is. Yeah.
And I mean, not that I'm a scientist or a doctor, but what this is referred to as a pineal gland of sorts. Is that where the pineal gland is?
it works with your pineal gland and your pituitary gland in the brain.
Yeah. Tell us what that is, because I've got a slight bit of knowledge on that, but maybe our audience doesn't. So can we kind of expand or maybe elaborate on what the pineal gland is?
You hold your hormones. It holds. Is there's two. We've got two. One's at the front and one's at the back. Excuse
Of
me.
what of your head? Yes.
Yeah, and it's often. I'll give you an example. You know, I've just had a brain scan myself, and they said
Mm.
my pineal gland is empty, which is it can come with age. It changes with like the menopause and things like that. You lose your sort of your hormonal what regulates your weight and all of that. It tends which is why a lady can often say we get middle-aged spread, if you like, because we
Mm.
don't have that same ability as we did when we were younger, if that
Mm.
makes sense.
So what are the causes for the block? I mean, what do you think the main causes are? Like, I mean, I know you mentioned some physical symptoms of this earlier on. Janet, could you continue with kind of talking to me about the causes, because I'm like, from my research, it's lack of spiritual connection, negative thought patterns and that type of thing. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's all of that phase, and it's just when you're in, when you're out of balance, you can reverse everything. If you think about what it does, it's your connection to your higher knowledge, so you lose it. So if it's out of balance, you're going to lose it. Your intuition, you're not in tune with yourself. You're not listening to your body. Your body is, your sixth sense is when you can say, well, I actually know. That knowing feeling inside that it comes from that and your subconscious. And if you haven't got your sixth sense or your third eye open, you lack all of that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
In other words, you're not connecting your body, mind and soul together. There's a discord with all of it, and it emerges that's when you end up making mistakes in life or bad choices, or nothing, you don't feel well, you're lethargic, and it literally is it's taking you off your pathway, off your purpose, so you
So
don't get
it's quite powerful if you're
God, yeah.
feeling negative, or even if you're feeling positive about it. And if it's balanced, you'll be feeling quite powerful, and if it's negative, it's quite powerful to kind of bring you down as well, in a sense, right?
Well, when it's in balance and fully open, excuse me, it activates both sides of your brain, the logical part, which is your left side, and the right side, which is your creative and spiritual side. When that is in balance, then you can go deeper. You can actually get that.
This is where it's the chakra where a lot of religious visions come into play, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, does it like help with memory? Obviously, the intuition part is a given, but I mean, other than intuition, what are the other things that it's good for it to be open? From what I've read, it gives you, it allows you to have a really good memory of the past. You can often recall dreams in detail. And your imagination is very strong and detailed. Is that the kind of thing that we're referring to?
Yeah. Well, yeah, as I just said, if it's open, then your creative side and your spiritual side is going to be much greater. So that allows you to evolve as a person on your own path.
It allows you to illuminate your destined path.
Yes,
it brightens it up. Yeah.
So how would we go about opening it? Let's say now we've realized what the symptoms are, we understand, what the symptoms are and how it's affecting us. We're now looking at obviously healing it, opening it, and unblocking it. So what are the kind of things and remedies that are available to us, from the mainstream? Because I know obviously we're going to be talking about our virtual reality app that we've designed for this type of healing, virtual reality healing from a chakra perspective. But what are the more popular methods to heal this type of chakra?
Well,
I was going to say, sorry. I was going to say that, one of the most popular ways is obviously meditation. But you can also use crystal. You can, it's, it brings about, you can even just walk in an activity, yoga, all of these things can open up your third eye. Can't they, Karina?
It can, yeah. I was just actually thinking about the first time that I actually physically felt my third eye. I mean, I was quite young, so I was only about 14 when I started to sit in a development circle to develop my gifts. And the first time I actually felt it, it's like a tingly kind of feeling, and it just like you just feel it expand, and it becomes like a bit of a tight band. and then it just gets larger and larger and larger, and that's where your visions then really start to come into play. And it's strange because people always can often say to me, oh, I never get anything in meditation, it's just darkness, or my thoughts come into play and things like that. But they'll say, if I say, you know, did you get a color or anything like that, and they'll say, oh yeah, I start to see colors. Well, that's how it starts. That's your actual third eye then beginning to open, because that's how you know, that's how then they can communicate with you with color. If you actually go into that color, that's when you'll actually find your actual vision of what the messages you're meant to be receiving. So I was just thinking about, sorry, I slightly got off track of your question, but I was just thinking about the time when I actually first opened my third chakra.
That's actually
yeah.
That is actually a really, really good example of how that works, and obviously some people may have felt that. Janet, what was your first experience of that?
Well, I was just going to say, one of my first experiences is that I felt like cobwebs over my face. It was just like as if something was crawling, or, you know, I was having all these cobwebs.
You get little itches, don't you?
Yeah, you want to itch it, and it's like pulsating between your forehead, and then, you know, it's like this magnetic pull. But I can tell you one of my first early experiences, and if you want the truth, it scared me to death. I've got to be honest. It did. If you can imagine your skin being torn open and it ends up in a circle in your forehead, and you've got no control over that, and an Indian is standing there as plain as daylight, and you're not closing your eyes, you're just sitting in a chair, and you can just feel this energy, and it's like your skin just separates.
I'll tell you what
So
it is.
would that experience be similar to? So would I feel a similar
veil.
experience if I had that? I mean, would people have different types of experiences? I mean, is it similar to everybody else? Is that what everybody else would feel?
I'd imagine
having cobwebs
like
over the face and feeling like the skin's ripping apart. That sounds quite scary, to be honest, Janet.
Did at first. I thought, no, not sure I like this, but you know, it's a funny thing. Again, you go to that intuition, and your intuition said, no, it's okay, because you are connected. So you then feel that connection with that third eye, and you just know that it's okay. And then you can work with that. You can be walking down the street and your third eye can open like that. You know, people will say, oh, you know, you can meditate walking. They may be experiencing that at that time.
Right.
You know, as younger, we used to play a game in the car, didn't we? And we used to, like, especially on country roads and things, and we would, as children, sort of like guess the next oncoming car, what the colour of the car would be. And although we didn't really, like, at the time, it's just a simple game. But again, what actually you're doing is you're actually using that intuition. It's getting you sort of like just used to connecting into, I just know.
And it's a really funny thing. It's a really funny thing, because we sat there last night watching Dancing on Ice, and we were actually doing exactly that with the scores, weren't we? And how many times did we get that right?
We did actually we did quite well.
We did quite well, didn't we? Because you're using your intuition.
Yeah.
And
so I mean, let's say, for example, you obviously these are quite you know, very, I would say, states that you have put yourself in to be able to open the actual chakra we're talking about.
But the thing is,
it doesn't happen randomly then.
No, you have to work it. It's like going to a gym, you know, and you suddenly, you know, you've done a bit of workout and you think, well, why aren't I, you know, super fit, or, you know, got all the muscles and things like that. You have to work it. You have to keep doing it. And it's the same with meditation and connecting. You have to keep doing it to be able to have that strong connection. So eventually, like I am, and like what Janet is, it's like we could just sort of like think it, and we know I'm open. It's an energy, it's a feeling, but that's because we've had years of experience of that, you know. But when you first start, you have to sit down and you have to concentrate and go into it and allow yourself to open up and allow yourself to really trust and concentrate on that intuition.
Yeah.
And
So, I
I
mean,
know.
so, moving into the kind of away from the mainstream ways and methods, and the reason why you created an app, a virtual reality app,
Yes,
is one of the reasons why you did that, because people have made their mind up. It's obviously an approach which will help with mental health care because you're doing it
yeah,
consistently, and it's via an app that is immersive, interactive. It's simulating a real world environment. It's obviously, leveraging cutting edge technology through virtual reality. You've got to have a device on your head, but that digital space, it allows you to mirror reality, and it allows the individual to engage with their surrounding and then actually really focus in, right? Is that the
definitely,
reason why
absolutely.
you created that
Yeah,
app?
yeah, we
Absolutely.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looking at the actual footage of the app,
yeah,
could you guys, I mean, you can take turns, Karina, Janet, whichever one of you wants to go first. Let's imagine now we're looking at this in 2D at the moment. Obviously, it's not in 3D, but just to give a flavor to our audience regarding what this experience looks like, this is what they would be going through. This is what they would be seeing. Why did why did you want to have this type of environment? And as I say, as we move on in the app, we'll see certain things happening, and you guys can
yes.
describe what's going on. So the floor is open, guys. Talk
Yeah,
away.
no, that when you start here, it's peaceful. This brings you back right to the beginning of just centering yourself, and this just stimulates like just going for a nice walk, but you're just centered yourself. So as you are walking, just feel all your senses.
Listen to your
And
body, isn't it?
yes, exactly. And although there's not a lot going on, it's purposely done that because we wanted you to just be in this moment, to start to listen to your thoughts and how you're feeling, and listen to your body, just listen to your mind and your emotions of what you're actually feeling. And that's what we wanted to create in this kind of part of the actual experience.
Yeah. And obviously, studies have shown that VR therapy can induce physiological and psychological responses similar
Yes,
to real world experiences. And when you're immersed in this 3D environment, studies have shown that, it elicits changes in stress hormones and other biological states. So clearly, this is something that you guys have really cottoned on to. It's very pioneering because there's nothing like this on the market, whereby every chakra can be
yes.
healed in this way.
No.
Exactly. I mean, there's lots and lots of fantastic apps out there that do meditations, and you can go into an actual visualization, but there is nothing out there like this that just brings you back to you, and can actually put yourself into it with your thoughts and bring it back out into reality. And so, even when you're not in the actual app, you can take those thoughts away and think about the questions, think about the affirmations, think about the things that you've actually had, and start to think about you.
And that's
I mean,
so
the level
important.
of realism and immersion here creates a very powerful therapeutic tool for anybody with some kind of mental health problem,
Yes.
especially for practitioners and healers as well. I mean, this is really, I mean, we're calling out to people, aren't we, in the healing world, and practitioners out there who can actually use this as a way of consistency and progression for their patient, where the VR therapy itself it will enable them to consistently repeat these sessions, go through
Yes.
these experiences again and again, and ensuring that those plans are followed, because it's not just for the sake of mental health. It's also quite fun to be around. I mean, obviously, when you're in the environment itself, you can walk around. It's not just a meditational aspect. It's actually,
No.
kind of a game as well, because you have many activities going on within there.
That's it, yeah. And we even had sort of like a mum with a child, not a young child, sort of like a young teenager, who suffers with ADHD, who said this would be absolutely perfect for them, because what they, just before they go to bed, they're quite hyper, and they struggle to settle down. And once they were on the app, they could physically see them actually relax.
Wow. I love this part here.
Huge benefit.
Yes. Yes, I love this.
You mean-
when you're actually
yeah.
in this and you see this, and you kind of think, oh, what's going on?
Yeah, I
But
mean,
it's
it's almost like
actually
an
the
earth. You
crystal.
always feel like it's a bit of an earthquake coming along, and you're presented with a pyramid, aren't you? So as you're
Yes.
walking along, I mean, what
Beautiful
was
pyramid.
what was the premise behind the pyramid being in this experience? And talk to us a little bit about what happens when we get in.
Yeah, so the actual third eye, our chakra, the healing color is silver. So that's why and it's clarity, it's clearing away, it's cleansing. So that's why it's in water, to represent the cleansing, and the pyramid to represent the clarity, if you like. And so when you sort of enter into it, and you could do the activities, it is to actually help you open up your third eye.
But once you start to open up your third eye, though, Karina, that's when you start to really begin to see, have a greater understanding of your place in the universe as well. You get your visions and, clairvoyancy. You also get your out-of-body experiences as you develop that. So going through the chakra will really help you to, and you can go through it many times, enhance that.
So this here, although it looks like it's water, you're actually walking. As you walk in, it sounds like glass. So
Yes, it does.
actually like
Absolutely.
a crystal, but it's beautiful. It's really quite strange, isn't it, to hear? But it's really calming and relaxing as you walk through it.
I mean, our audience is only seeing the visual aspect of what we're showing, but let's compare this to the normal treatments or practitioners that offer this type of treatment in the mainstream. How much would it cost for a service, like for example, for a practitioner to help you with this type of problem, like one session, for example?
Well, that's the good thing with this app, is that you will get all of the healing and the knowledge that you want from it. But if you wanted to go to a natural therapist, you're probably looking at, I don't know, probably around £30 to £40 per session.
Exactly, yeah.
English
So if you
pounds.
compare it to one session, £30, and then go back another £30, go back another £30.
Yes. And that's why we
compare one
created
experience.
UFH in the first place.
Yeah.
But can I just say this, Karina, as well? If you go for like a Reiki, it can be anything now from, say, £40 up to £80 for one session. They've gone.
You guys
really
also do provide the
expensive.
Reiki healing practitioner course as well, don't you? Just in case people aren't
Yes.
aware,
Yeah.
all of your knowledge and all of your experience, and now obviously being manifested to do this app. You've got obviously quite a very, shall we say, a knowledgeable background in providing courses for practitioners and healers and individuals alike.
So I was just going to say, Faisal, that we have the unique soul healing, which all of this work that you see here is come from that healing course itself.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, this is the main thing is that the value for money aspect, which is I wanted to draw on the value for money aspect, compare this to the mainstream. if somebody's having a problem with this chakra or any chakra, they can try these experiences. Obviously, you need a VR device. You need an Oculus Quest, a Meta Quest 2 or a Meta Quest 3. But in essence, when you look at it overall, a Quest 2 device now has come down in price. I mean, it started off at, I think, $399. It's now, I think you can buy it for about £250. So that's a one-off purchase, and that's an investment for you, not just for one app, but you can use it as the family can use it, the kids can use it. It's just like another PlayStation, another level to a PlayStation. But then obviously this experience, when you compare like for like, one experience is only $11.99. So for me, that's great value for money. The other aspect of it is obviously you guys are now providing a beta program, which is obviously there for a limited time only. We've had some great feedback from that beta program, and the reason why we're continuing with it is to allow people to take advantage of this app for free, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. And hopefully, people, we've had, like you say, good response, and are leaving really good reviews about it as well, which I'm so blessed to have. Yeah.
Well, Kuna, it helps us. We use this work every single day. And yes, we've been ill, but it's been the healing course that's changed our lives.
But that's life. You're always going to have something, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're always going to have something, but we use the healing course to overcome our own problems. And, it's not like as if we haven't gone through it ourselves, but it literally changed our lives. And from that point, yes, you're going to have things unravel and things happen in life. So you're always going to have something. But that's the beauty of the healing course, because we give you 5 steps. Once you've gone through the healing course, we give you the 5 steps for like when if you fall. Well, you've said it before, Corinne. It's like being on a motorway. If you come off the motorway, you need something to get you back on it. So these 5 steps help you. If you come up against a problem, then go through the 5 steps. It helps you realign yourself again.
Elaborate the 5 steps for the audience then, just because you haven't mentioned what those 5 steps are. Just elaborate that a little bit more on that, a little bit more for us.
Well, when we come to the end of the healing, which is we're literally balancing up your chakras through meditations and activities, which is what we've done in the VR. You've got a series of things, activities going on within each of the chakra experiences. But what we've done with the actual healing course itself, which is a 5-day course, there's 5 steps, which is basically taking you back to the beginning, past lives, balancing out, finding the problem, how you can deal with it, and then going on to get that freedom feeling once again. These 5 steps are part of the bigger course that we provide.
Okay.
Yeah, but what I do like, can I just say about this, is that we have a multiplayer. So each experience, we're going to be able to go into here, and there will be a schedule where we actually talk about the chakras and the actual healing program in much more detail.
Yeah, and I'm glad you touched on that, Karina, because this is a way for people that are not able to be present in a physical location. Provides a lot of accessibility, doesn't it? This kind of VR therapy can be accessed remotely. It offers great convenience, and it eliminates those barriers. Whenever it's convenient, and obviously the multiplayer side of things allows people to connect with you personally. Get involved in your workshops, your courses, and obviously any sessions that you do. So I mean, I would definitely encourage everyone that's listening to go to your website, which is violetflameexperience.co.uk. Have a look around there, sign up for the beta program. If you don't have a VR device, you can order one from the site, or you can order one directly from Meta, and away you go.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be able to even sort of ask questions. to us, so that we can actually answer back to you if you have any individual problems from the app, and it's things that you're not sure about, or you had this affirmation, you're not sure how to implement it in your life, or whatever it is. Then we're able to schedule a time that suits you, and we're able to then link in together.
Absolutely. Okay, well, that's great to hear, guys, and thank you very much for all that knowledge today. Really, really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the next one, which is going to be the crown chakra. That's there to heal any stress and anxiety that you have. Of course, everybody, most people these days do suffer from that. And obviously looking forward to having a conversation with you in our next episode for that one.
Thank you very much. I've really enjoyed
Very
it.
much.
Thank you for joining us again, guys. And until next time, take care.
Thank you.